Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time you are watching this video. Today we are still continuing our cardiovascular system in our anatomy series, and we are still focusing on the blood vessel. And before I start a review, I would like us to do some imagination exercise. Imagine the heart as a pump and the blood vessel as the pipe. And this pipe is mostly the artery and the arterioles. Now, the artery is mostly thicker than the wall of this artery is mostly thicker than that of the vein. The reason why is because the pressure that is coming from the heart is much in artery than in the vein because it is already returning, so the pressure is lower than that of the artery because the pressure that is coming from the blood that is coming from the heart, like the heart is beating the pressure that is coming from the heart. So the blood in the artery is mostly positive. Have you ever made a cut an artery? Yes, if you have experienced this, you will know that the blood is mostly positive due to the pressure, and it is hard to stop. It is very, very hard to staunch due to the pressure that is coming from the blood that is coming from the artery. And now the structure in the wall of this artery, they are not the same, they vary. They are not the same. It is not the same structure you will see in this side is the same. It's not the same you see in the other side. For instance, in the large arteries, or for example, the aorta, because they are closer to the heart, they are mainly close to the heart. So their wall are made up of elastic tissues. We all know that. As in the previous video, when we are explaining the structure of this, the wall of the heart, of the blood vessel, we made mention of the tunica adventitia, that is the tunica externa, the tunica media, and the tunica intima. The tunica media, we mentioned that the tunica media is made up of variable smooth muscle and elastic tissue. Then in these large arteries, like the aorta, the one that are closer to the heart, their tunica media is made up of elastic tissue and less of smooth muscle. The reason why, because this artery, they are close to the heart. So the pressure that is coming from from the blood that is passing through them, those because they are mostly made up of elastic tissue, they can easily stretch to accommodate the pressure that is coming from the heart. They can accommodate the pressure and then recoil, pushing it further forward, pushing the blood forward. They can stretch and recoil, pushing the blood forward. They stretch to accommodate the pressure and then recoil to push the blood further. And as this large artery, the aorta, as is breaking down, is breaking down, you know that from the artery, we move down to the arterioles, and these arterioles, they are kind of tinier, like thinner than the artery, the main artery, that is the large arteries. And because they are when it gets to these arteries, their wall, because they are not close to the heart, their walls are made up of smooth muscle and less of elastic tissue. And meanwhile, the artery that are closer to the heart, they call them the elastic vessel. Reason why? Because they are closer to the heart and they stretch so that they can be able to stretch and recoil. That's why they are made up of more of elastic tissue. Then the arterioles, because the artery has branched off to arterioles, their wall are now mostly made up of the smooth muscle and less of elastic tissue. And how do they regulate the blood pressure and the flow of blood? They do that by the contraction and relaxation of this smooth muscle. Yeah. They do that by the contraction and relaxation of this smooth muscle. Like, yeah. So, and that is the reason why they are called the resistance vessel, because most systemic blood pressure is determined by the ability of this muscular vessel, that is the arteries, to withstand the pressure that is coming from this heart. Yeah, that is how they determine the systemic blood pressure. And for recap, the difference in the structure of the wall of the arteries is depending on the closeness of the artery. Like the large arteries, such as the aorta, that are closer to the heart, the tunica media is mostly made up of elastic tissue and less of smooth muscle. Reason why is because so that they can be able to stretch to accommodate the pressure, because as the blood is coming, like the blood is coming directly, like is coming from the pumping of the heart, the pressure is much, so that they are made up of elastic tissue so that they can be able to stretch to accommodate the pressure and then recoil to push them further. And as the artery is breaking further into arteries, the tunica media is changing too. Their wall is now made up of mostly smooth muscle and less of elastic tissue. And how do they regulate the pressure and the flow of blood? Is by the contraction and relaxation of this smooth muscle, and that is why they are mostly called the resistance vessel. Reason why is because mostly the systemic blood pressure is determined by the resistance of this muscular wall, the muscular wall, to the pressure of blood that is passing through them. Hope you understand, and we'll be explaining another section in the next video. Please ensure to watch the previous video, this video, and the video will be releasing in the future. Thank you.